done in a little bit, and it is the Lawrence's Hot Sauce Seat. And what I want to do is I want to bring on one of our guests that we're going to have on tonight for the further discussion, but I got to talk to him first, and that is my man, Barber Chair Scott Lewis, 79th and Halas, Barber Chairs Network. I'm not going to hold you. You have more shows than anybody I know, Scott, but thanks for coming on tonight. Appreciate you, my friend.
What's going on, y'all? Excuse me talking like Doc Rivers, but coming off of sickness, man. This first time I'm recording in 2 weeks, so you know.
Oh man, we're honored to have you, and I'm glad that the first thing coming out of my mouth is talking some shit to you about this comment. So this tweet, I saved this shit. I saw this back in October, and Scott's tweet says, "You can call me whatever, but I absolutely despise sports analytics." Scott, I want you to defend this take right now because to me, I love sports analytics. I think it helps all these games go. Tell me what I got wrong here.
In the words of 10-time NBA All-Star, 2-time NBA Finals MVP Kevin Durant, I don't want to look at charts, dog. Like I just want to watch the actual game. Like, I don't want to do equations to figure out, why this player is better on the field, on the court. I don't want to do all that. My eyes tell the story, bro. So that's pretty much why I'm at with it. I think that analytics are cool for general managers and for people who actually have to scout the game. But for a fan, I'm not trying to watch that shit, man. Like that's pretty much where I'm at with it.
And the way I agree, because we were just having this argument with another friend who was talking about, you need to put more stats in the baseball broadcast, and we're like, no, you do not. Like they got enough shit in there already.
My point to him, because he mentioned this in the chat, and he's like, I was like, I think the average fan doesn't give a shit about that kind of stuff. And he's like, well, they should. And I was like, I'll call my dad right now and be like, hey, motherfucker, you better learn about tunneling in baseball or else you can't watch the White Sox anymore. Off limits.
He's what's tunneling?
He's like, I don't want to hear about this pornography, son. That's not what I want to hear from you.
He said tunneling. That's how your grandparents got here, kids. Like, that's how they got it. Well, it was swimming or tunneling. We can't tell which, but regardless.
We used to just call it fucking back in the day. We didn't have to have weird names. We just said fucking. That's all we said, son.
Well, I understand what you're saying, but I take it as the thing is, to me, analytics isn't just spreadsheets. It's also the way these guys read situations and the way they interpret and play the game, in tow because of it. And so it's not just, to me, I think of it as the Moneyball bullshit, which is right. Kind of like the approach here. But I also think about it as like, there's that video of Ed Reed where they're talking about, when Belichick's talking about the double move he made on Peyton Manning to fool him into throwing that fucking interception. That's Ed Reed using here to fucking analyze the play and figure it out. So that's the way I think about it, which might not be, the way you meant here. So
yeah,
I mean, that's what he's saying.
No, I'm just saying, as for me, I just don't care for the numbers. Like if I'm having like a debate about any sport with anybody, and somebody say, "Oh, well, if you look at Joel Embiid's plus minus," I'm cutting out the conversation. Somebody's telling me that this motherfucker turned the ball over 10 times. Like I don't I see him throwing it out of bounds. Like, so as a fan, I just don't care for it. But I do think there is a place for it in the game, but just not for me. And as a fan, I don't want to add in my conversations.
Well, as a fan, I get it. But as a podcaster, is there ever like, is there a need to go like, I've watched this. I think I'm seeing this. And I want to verify it with the numbers that because I'm not going to see every game that happens. I'm seeing this now. Does this guy do this all the time?
I'm like anti-numbers, so I'm not gonna hold you. I'm not gonna lie. Like I I'll get like the actual stats, so I know how much somebody had. But we don't really be on there arguing numbers. I'll be lying to you if I said I like a book of stats every show. I have bullet points about stuff I want to talk about, and that is it. Like I might have like points per game, but that's every now and then. I probably don't even have that 9 times out of 10. It's just, hey, Damian Lillard was ass tonight. We gonna talk about that.
And in a way, I agree with you. We do numbers on here sometimes, but we got to the point where like we need to do less numbers and we need to just do more of, hey, we watched all this. We're at all these games. Let's fucking just say what we saw.
Right, exactly.
Well, and the numbers like modify too much. Like I can't go into a discussion with people and say, "Well, his batting average is this," and they're like, you're stupid. Look at his WAR. Look at his B WAR. Look at his OBS. Look at his OPS. Go to his OPP and all this other shit." I'm like, I don't know. Like,
right,
okay,
it's too much.
I'm out because like I can't figure all that out. I barely have my head wrapped around batting average. I can't get the other ones. Like I understand what WAR means. Wins above replacement. I don't know how it's calculated. I just know it's racist because somebody told me one time. But other than that, like WAR, I just don't get it. So,
I mean, yeah, it does sound very racist. Like honestly, it does sound like a racist thing. But it's just kind of like too. Like even if you look at plus or minus, like, oh well, the Sixers were a minus 15 with Kelly Oubre on the court. Like you're not going to convince me a team that has 5 players on the court at the same time. He's just the reason that they out here 9 points away. It doesn't make sense. So that's why I take it with a grain of salt. But also, as a fan, if I'm hearing my GM isn't using analytics, yeah, I got a problem with it. But I'm just saying, like in my conversations, I'm straight on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's just talk about what our eyes see. It's like in this rap battle with Kendrick Lamar and Drake, and somebody want to bring up record sales. I don't give a damn what 12-year-old girl likes Drake. He better get on the booth. That's wrong with
it. All right, fair enough. You defended the point properly. Teresa, I think it's time to get on to